Hi, it's Shannon from Rock Solid Financial Services. Just wanted to do a brief or have a brief chat. Once again, these are very uncut clips, and we just want to get to the point and get it across. Money for our internal clients. However, everyone's welcome to have a squizzy. So, yeah, of late, a lot of businesses are struggling. We're seeing, in general, uh, just in just around businesses are struggling with cash flow, not struggling but concerned about cash flow. A lot of people are struggling to have their to invoices paid. So a lot of people are holding back to the last day with regards to paying someone their invoice or having their invoice paid, um, from their customer. So this obviously is a bit of a downhill trend, and yeah, unfortunately, it hurts the little guy the most. So a lot of people are quite asset heavy at the moment. That's either with property or vehicles like this, or just general business asset and whatnot. This is more focused on business to everyone, not so much of the mums and dad property talks, but hey, it can be reflective. So yeah, like I was saying, a lot of people are quite asset heavy at the moment. They've got a fair bit of either stock or mobile asset, fixed asset, and also to property. We can't forget that. Everyone likes talking about that. So the whole idea is you can have secured or unsecured with regards to obtaining capital. So most people at the moment I'm seeing, and it's not, it is a bit of a trend where people have got their household, like their personal household, and they're borrowing money, putting it into the business from their personal household, or they're borrowing it off, say, family, friends, and all whatnot. So the aim with the business is trying to keep your personal household, your family, and whatnot separate to the business for protection purposes. And um, obviously, you don't want to be bleeding out your personal circumstances or your personal everyday living, just for just for the business, where there are other options and tax deductible options as well. That's something for your accountant as well, not for me to be spruiking. However, it is something worth having the chat to your accountant about, and that is obtaining capital via lending means and utilizing the assets that you have. So there's a difference between secured and unsecured. Obviously, secured, you're going to have a cheaper, a lot more conservative rate if it's secured, and an unsecured where they have no caveat over anything. It's just they're giving you the money and just assess your servicing, but it comes at a higher cost, a higher rate. Why? Is because they're taking on a higher risk. So if everything goes pear shaped, they've got nothing. They got nothing to recover the costs with. So with secured, well, they do. They have something to make them a bit more comfortable that they're going to be getting that money back if something goes south or if the business goes south. So secured. This is a this topic can go on forever, so I'm going to try and keep this very simple. Once again, I'm not an excellent presenter or YouTuber. Go for the big guys if you're interested in having a very flamboyant video or clip. So the with the people that are heavy with asset and whatnot, they're paid off their debts, happy days, or they've nearly paid off their debts, and that helps out with the cash flow. Yes, but in a way, not, because there's obviously these fluctuations that are happening at the moment in business, and that's not just construction. That's pretty well across the board, especially with fuel prices and whatnot as well. Transport seeing it a fair bit as well. So there's a couple of options with security, and what you can use. One, you can use a vehicle like we said before, mobile assets, some fixed assets. We can have that. We can have that refinance and drawn capital out, or have the capital attached to that security, and that will bring you a bit more attractive rate. With the older the machine, it's going to obviously not value up as much, so that does attract a higher rate in a lot of instances, and two, a lesser value, so a lesser amount that they're offered, that they're happy to offer to you. So we've got property, everyone's favorite. So it can be commercial, can be residential. Yeah, people get a bit mixed up with regards to using property for cash flow purposes. So there's two ways to go about this. That one way is to use the property as security for a business loan. Yes, that you are putting the house um, as a security for the business directly. Yes, but there's other ways as well. I'm not saying that either way is the way to roll. That's something to decipher when we have a discussion, and with your accountant as well. So the other way is we could draw equity out of the house with a cash out scenario that can go into the business, which still somewhat keeps it all separate. Okay. So you're just cashing out under the home loan, and you can put that into the business. That's another way to do it. So they're the couple of ways to use security or obtain capital. So we've just gone through secured and unsecured lending pretty well. Now I just want to go through the types of loans that we could get, and these only naming a few as well. So we got secured and unsecured. Now we've got revolving lines of credit, which is overdraft, or we can just call it revolving lines of credit. We have invoice. I'll go into that actually. Sorry. So basically, you've got a master limit, same as it's somewhat like a credit card or whatnot. So you've got a master limit. You can take out as much as up to that limit, and the idea is to pay that back to iron out the cycles of the cash flow. So that's actually quite popular. A lot of the lenders actually offer that in business banking as a default. And that's not default as in credit hit, as in default, like you automatically get it in a lot of cases, or automatically applicable. So yeah, this is used a lot for stock, wages, gaps in between um, uh, invoice sending, and then also the payment of it. That's is quite popular. You only get, so say if it was 100,000, you take out 20,000 on the overdraft. You're only going to get interest on the amount that you take out, which is the 20k. So with regards to that, if you pay that off that next month, happy days. But you still have a line fee that goes annually. So a line fee is just a fee for your privilege to have that facility. Usually it's about 1%, 2% in between there, depending what lender, obviously. With that, you can have it once again, secured and unsecured. So obviously secured's cheaper. Unsecured, you can't throw trucks in and all that on those usually. It's more so property, yes, and unsecured's a lot more expensive as well. Then we've got our term loans. Our term loans are at a set term, so your revolving line of credit or overdraft gets renewed every year. Some of them have actual annual reviews, but I won't go into that at the moment. So yeah, we get the term loan as a set term, same as your home loan, same as your car loan, set for 5 years, 7 years, 2 years, or whatnot, and you just got to pay that down, pay that principal off accordingly, and that's as per that contracted amount. So once again, they can be secured, they can be unsecured as well. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. All I really wanted to go through. So it is a consideration to be using asset for refinancing. I'd actually, sorry, I don't know if I've explained this well enough as well. So, for example, this truck at the back here. So I'm looking at, I'm needing a bit of money and whatnot. There could be, I needed an engine rebuild or something of another vehicle or whatnot. So the one of the options is refinancing the truck and having a equity cash out. We call it capital raise. Some call it capital raise. So you can extract the equity out of the truck, and it'll be usually it's on a higher rate and a lesser term, but it is funds that you don't have to come up with cash for, and they're obviously for your bigger ticket, not expected costs. For example, blown diff or something like that. Yeah, so that's it. In a nutshell, I'll let you all go. Thank you very much for listening, and feel free to reach out. We've got our mobile numbers. Everything's on the website. It was super easy to find, and yeah, enjoy. Thank you.